Very excited to be talking to our guest today, Hallie Long.
Through my music and even through my life, my goal is to show people that if you're going to walk out of your house and you're going to go out into the world, you got to go in the way that you know you're going to be accepted no matter what.
This is the Brett Mason Show. Hey, hey, hey! My name is Brett. This is my show. This is my show.
Welcome into another episode of the Brett Mason Show. Thank you so much for listening to the Brett Mason Show and podcast. Whether you found us on Facebook at facebook.com/Brett Mason69, or maybe you found us through iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio using the search term Brett Mason Show, or on YouTube as well. I'm glad you're here today. It is a very special hello to everyone who's listening on our custom Android app. You can find it in the Marketplace Google Play Store by searching for Brett Mason Show. I was notified this morning that our iOS app would be available in iTunes and the App Store within a couple of hours. I checked it, and it was not available as of me launching this podcast, but it may be when you're hearing it, it may be. So if it's not there now, it will be soon. Same thing, search for Brett Mason Show in the App Store for Apple, and you can find it that way as well. The easy way, you can connect with all of those just by picking the one you like and clicking a button, including finding the apps, by heading on over to brett-mason.com/connect. brett-mason.com/connect. So at the end of the show, I'll be telling you how you can gain points and win this awesome prize that we're giving away, which I'm really excited about. Somebody actually suggested to me that we give stuff away, and I'm like, you know what? I'm a big fan of giving stuff away. So we have a Galaxy Tab 3. I'll tell you how you can win that coming up in just a little bit. But first, I'm very excited to be talking to our guest today. She is a local artist here in the Southeast Alabama area, and her name is Hallie Long. Hallie, thank you so much for being on the show today. I appreciate you being a part of the Brett Mason Show and podcast. How are you, ma'am?
Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I know that you, when I was asking you earlier in the week about being on the show, you said you got 3 days off, so I guess you're a happy girl right now, huh?
Yes, I've been working my butt off with this hot weather. Selling cakes is not as easy as people think, so this 3-day weekend's been really nice.
Well, we're going to try to familiarize people with you who may not know anything about you yet, so we'll talk a little bit about where you came from, how you got started, and everything like that. What kind of music do you primarily sing and write? Are you primarily a country artist?
Well, I started out when Taylor Swift came out. She kind of inspired me to start what I've always wanted to do, and that was sing and play in front of people, and I kind of grew from that. At this point in time, I've been more on the folk and original side of the music genre. A little bit into rock. I'm kind of learning the edgy side, but I started at a basis with country, and that's always going to be my roots most often.
Well, I'll tell you what I've always found about country music is you can launch from country music into any genre, and that's something I don't think you can say about rock.
Yes, I found that to be very true. When I started writing way far before I learned to play guitar or the piano. I wouldn't pay attention in school. I'd be looking down at my paper, thinking of scenarios and coming up with things. And as it progressed and I learned an instrument, starting with country has kind of the simpler version of chords. The musical composition is way more simple than you would get from, an Aerosmith song or a Hailstorm song. And it kind of helped me learn, and that way when I branch out into every other genre, I'll always come back home. And it just makes it more easier to learn and comprehend everything.
So you talked about being passionate about it and starting writing lyrics at a young age. How old were you when you wrote your first lyric?
My first song was a cute old breakup song, and I think I was about 11. It was the first one I actually put with chords.
So did that come from an actual young love breakup, or were you just visualizing a breakup and writing about it?
I don't think there's a real breakup at 12 years old, so it's kind of Disney Channel was big back then, and I kind of would get scenarios from things that I watched.
So looking back on it now, was it any good?
Yes. It was the first one. Of course it was good.
So you talked about Taylor Swift. Is she your biggest influence? And if so, since we've already talked about her, so who's somebody else that influences what you do?
Right now, I would honestly say from every country girl aspect, Miranda Lambert has had a big influence, but I like to look more on the artists who who are newer now, but still have their own style. Kelsey Ballerini is a new up-and-coming artist, and the way she's describing things and saying things that no one other has said, that really, originality really sticks out to me.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things to do. Sometimes I go on YouTube binges that'll last for 3 hours. It takes me from artist to artist because I love all music, but I just find that if you only listen to the radio, you're pretty much going to hear 3 or 4 kinds of songs over and over and over again.
Yeah, I feel like that's how the radio is now, but that's the joy of being a multi-genre artist and music lover just in general, because, I mean, there's times where I can literally just sit down and listen to classical music. People are like, what are you doing?
So is there any kind of music that you just absolutely do not like? Is there a genre you do not have any desire to listen to?
Like death metal. That's probably one I don't want to hear.
Yeah, that stuff's kind of scary, actually. When I have listened to those guys, I wonder how do they keep their throat healthy with all that yelling and screaming? That's got to be a talent in itself.
Yes, the only girl I've ever heard do it is the lead singer of Hailstorm. She's got a rock band going now, and her vocals are crazy. I could never keep my voice healthy doing that.
God, I love Hailstorm. I was just talking to somebody about them and her day before yesterday. I only just recently discovered Hailstorm, like within the past 3 weeks. Apparently, I've been lost for the last 3 years, but now I'm addicted. I've got like 3 albums, and I'm just crushing them, listening to them over and over. I really dig that kind of stuff.
I do too. I think she just broke out, so it makes it exciting.
I'm assuming you get the opportunity to work with other local artists, or maybe you get a chance, you at least know other local artists. Is there anybody locally that you really, really admire and respect, whose name people may or may not be familiar with, that you think everybody should just know?
A respectable artist to me, as a great guy and a person in general, his name is Michael Van Dusen.
I love Mike Van Dusen.
Yes, he's had a huge impact on me. He's just been really encouraging as an artist and as a friend, and he's recently engaged, so I want to congratulate him on that. But he's been a support system for a lot of the artists around here. He's thriving to get all of us back, to supporting each other in this town. And I have to say he's probably the one I look up to here in Dothan.
Boy, that poor girl he's engaged to, I need to call her and share some stories I know about him now.
She's a sweet girl.
I worked with Mike way back in the day when he was a boring, stuffy radio salesperson. So I've enjoyed seeing him embrace music, and just because I never knew he had that in him. And then when I started seeing him post about it on Facebook and saw some videos, I'm like, wow, he's you can tell he's very passionate about what he does.
He is, and he's always in his own element. His originality, it stands out, I think, to me as an artist, because that's the one thing that I always want to stay true to is who I am, and he does a great job at that.
So what I'd like to do right now is we're gonna play one of your tunes. It's actually my favorite tune that I saw on your YouTube channel, because you have a few originals up here. This one was my favorite. It's called "That's Just Me." How long ago did you write that, and what did it come from?
That's Just Me. I think I actually wrote that a few years back. I had went through a point in time in my life, and everybody will go through it no matter what, probably more than once, but it's just where you feel like you have to be more. You feel like you're not good enough, or, somebody tells you, that your substance isn't good enough. Who you are and who you're proud of and what makes you, you tick every day is boring, or you just don't feel comparable to anybody. You feel below and beneath anything that you come up to. And I got to the point where I did some soul searching like everyone does, and found out that, this is just me. This isn't about, a little girl chasing this big old huge dream. This isn't about, a little girl who's afraid to leave a small town. It's just who I am, no matter what you or anybody else can say. It's kind of a Miranda Lambert, y'all can just shove it song.
I don't think there's anybody alive that hasn't felt that way at some point. Maybe that's why I connected with your song so much. Even though.
Oh, thank you.
So we're going to play that for you. We'll play that now, and then when we come back, we're going to get personal with Hallie. Is that okay if we get personal?
Yes, that's fine.
We'll do that right now. Hallie Long, That's Just Me.
It ain't the richest things that's gonna make me fall in love. It ain't those shiny rims or that new lift you put on your truck. No, I don't care what your daddy's money looks like in a Tiffany's box. Now let me tell you something, honey. You ought to know my love can't be bought. 'Cause I'd rather lay out under the stars, pick a tune on this guitar any night of the year. Taking no beating down dirt road just to figure out where it goes and ride out of here. Drive around till we find mud. We ain't afraid of getting stuck. We just don't care. That's just me. Yeah, that's just me. You ain't the only thing that circles round in my head. 'Cause I've got a million things going on and not a whole lot of time to plan. No, I don't care what you need to tell me. I couldn't care less what you think. Yeah, the only thing you can do to help me is just let me live my dreams. You know I'd rather lay out under the stars, sing along with this guitar any night of the year. Taking no beating down dirt road just to figure out where it goes and ride out of here. Sing out every song I've wrote just to hear the fans sing along with me. Yeah. Put a smile on someone's face just to hear me say you're beautiful. Yes, you are. It ain't the richest things that's gonna make us fall in love.
All right, the Brett Mason Show and Podcast. Thank you for listening. We're back with our guest today, local artist Hallie Long is her name, and we have another tune we'll be playing from her shortly. Right now, I thought we would dive into Hallie's personal life because I think interviews are always best when you get a little bit, just a tad personal, not too personal, but a tad personal. And I'm going to start with this because I'm in the older generation, but I guess because I'm a techie and I associate with younger people, I'm just into stuff like that. I'm completely obsessed with social media, especially Snapchat. And I got to tell you, you're probably my favorite Snapchatter ever. Do you love doing that? Do you enjoy doing it, or do you feel like you have to do it?
I love Snapchat. It's a place to just, I don't know, when I'm driving down the road and something crazy happens, or I just have something on my heart that I feel like, I need to get out, or just anything happens, I'm just like, Snapchat it. Like, my stories are probably usually 500 minutes long by the end of the day. I think that's just my place of expression. It's not completely social media infested. Like, it's not, straight out there on the web. I know who sees my stuff, and I can accept and be friends with who I want to on there. And I just feel like Snapchat's judge-free for me. If they don't like it, they can get on out.
Well, I'll tell you what I like about your Snapchat is that you really don't hold anything back on there. Like, I've seen moments where you were frustrated. I've seen you share moments where you were upset. I've seen you share moments where you are extremely happy. You'll sing on there sometimes. You'll talk about how you're frustrated. Really, if it's on your mind, you share it. And I don't know. I guess I'm just a weirdo because I love that aspect of what social media can do when it's pure. And I think Facebook has been robbed of a lot of its purity, and all the other ones have. But it seems like that still remains with Snapchat. There's just something very real about it.
Yes, and thank you for that, because that's even through my music and even through my life. My goal is to just show people that if you're going to walk out of your house and you're going to go out into the world, you got to go in the way that you're going to be accepted no matter what. You can't go with 10 pounds of makeup and $40,000 worth of clothes, on your back. You got to go out into the world the way you were brought in. And I think that's the most important thing about my Snapchat is at my work or at my shows or 95%, not gonna lie, I'm probably driving down the road, and I shouldn't be. But I think people have true hearts when they're driving, because that's when you get your moment to yourself. And I think that's an honest place for a lot of people is their Snapchat.
I tell you mentioned something interesting. This isn't one of my official questions, but since you brought it up, it spawned this thought in my mind, so I'm going to ask you about it. You talked about how what it's like being inside your car. That's always been a very holy, spiritual place for me. And back when I was in radio and I was a program director, and we would decide what songs to play, every Tuesday when all the new music would come out. So Tuesday morning, I'd do the morning show. Then I would take all those tunes and I would go get inside my car and I would drive around and listen to them on the CD player, because to me, that's when the song is the most realist, because you're just in this, I don't know what it is about being in a car. There's just something about being in a car.
Even if I record a song of mine or a video, I always get in my car and put the windows down and just drive. And I'll go out, around Dothan, or I'll go out to Georgia over near the dam in Columbia and just ride dirt roads, or go to Slocum, or, somewhere good hometown feel to it. And if the message and what I've recorded, it portrays through me in my car, because, people cry in their cars. A car is a sacred place for a lot of people. That's just an honest place that nobody really talks about. But for me, my car is where my brain starts working.
Well, I think that's universal. I think almost everybody can relate to it. It's very interesting, though. The car is the truth. Maybe I'm going to start that. Yes. I need that bumper sticker. Maybe I can start that. The car is the truth, because that's where you really come to terms with what you're thinking, because you don't got anybody else there to blow smoke up your butt, It's just you.
No, and you can listen to whatever music, whether it be I'm pissed off music or I'm so happy I could cry music. It's just, your car is it.
So let's talk a little bit about your goals and your dreams. I'm assuming you would like to be a nationally known recording artist touring the world, but I could be wrong about that. Is that a fair assessment of what your goals are?
Yeah, it is the goal. I want to travel the world, like anybody does. But I think overall my main goal is to just stand on the forefront with music as an honesty platform. I want to take my music so much further than where a little girl from Dothan could dream of, but I want to take it through the honest route. And people sometimes say it's a bad thing, but I'm a person, I want to pay my dues. I want to learn the background, and I want to get the foundation for everything that I do. So with my dream of being on that big old stage in front of thousands of people, I want to be there with a purpose. The big stage and the big lights and the 30 to 40,000 people, That's the dream, but that's not the whole dream.
I like it. That's a great answer. All right, you're almost done. You're almost through with the excruciating pain of being on the Brett Mason Show.
Oh, it is not excruciating. It is fun.
We're going to play another one of your tunes coming up, but right now, I like to call this the lightning round. These are silly things. You can choose to answer them or not answer them, and you don't have to give long. You don't have to give long, detailed answers, or you can. It's up to you. Question number one: what do you like most, a night on the town or staying inside with somebody special?
I like a mixture of both. Branching out and getting out of the house is great, but at the end of the day, I have an old soul, so I've been told I want to cook dinner and kind of, relax.
Balance. You got to have balance. I like that.
Yes.
What is your favorite pig-out food? Something you can just dive into and eat way too much of it.
Hot wings.
Do you love the hot wings?
Hot wings.
So the flip side of pigging out is exercise. Do you work out? Do you have a workout regimen, or are you just naturally fit and healthy?
I have played sports throughout my life, but I have to say I do work out. I love to lift heavy. I follow a lot of professional weightlifters, and I have a lot of friends who are in nutrition. The gym is it's just another one of those honest places for me. You get in there and you don't only work on your muscles, but you're working on, your integrity while you're in there, and you're perseverant.
And your favorite sports team, are you on the Alabama or Auburn side?
Go Noles, baby.
I like that. I was first and foremost a Noles fan, and then when I moved to Alabama, I had to pick a team, so I picked Auburn. But Noles will always be my first love, no doubt.
I refuse to pick a team here in this beautiful state because I am not going to be on the left or right side.
You're a very smart woman. If you could be the lead singer for any band, past or present, what band would you love to be the front person for?
Oh, that is a hard one. Probably just because of the millions of opportunities that they've had. I want to be the lead singer of Aerosmith for a little while.
That would be awesome. That'd be awesome. Other than this interview that you're doing right now, what's the stupidest thing you've ever agreed to do?
Stupidest thing I've ever agreed to do. Okay, my brother dared me about 2 or 3 years ago to race him. He thought he was faster than me.
Uh-huh.
Well, I had to be the big sister and I had to be the winner, of course. So I started running, and I didn't have any shoes on because I had on flip-flops, so I had to take them off. And he starts running, tennis shoes and all. We get on the hot pavement. He starts running. I start feeling the heat of the hot pavement beside the trip and bust my knee wide open.
Ouch.
So, yeah, I think he got me on that one.
Did he at least help you get a Band-Aid or something?
No, he laughed.
He stood there and laughed like any real brother would.
Heck yeah.
I like it. Thank you for being so open and forthcoming on the interview today. It was a lot of fun. I appreciate it. Real quick, where can everybody catch up with you at on Facebook? I think you got a website. What information would you like people to know as far as contacting you?
Yes, I have a Facebook. It's Hallie Long Music. I'm sure you'll post that on there. The spelling is completely different than most people. It's Hallie. Long Music. I also have a website. That's Hallie Long Music also.
So you can catch up with her there. She also has a YouTube channel, which you'll find if you go to the website. And she's got a lot of great stuff where she just sits down and sings, which to me is a sign of talent. If you got the whole studio musicians with you and the engineer tweaking the sound, that's one thing. But when you can sit down with a guitar and sing, I think the world needs more of that, quite honestly.
Oh, yeah. And I also got a Snapchat. Y'all want to talk about that?
Yeah, what's your? I didn't know whether to share that or not, so I didn't say anything when we were talking about it. But yeah, what's your Snapchat?
Made something where nobody would know it, but she knows. Just because a lot of people tell me I think I know everything. But it's SHEKNOWS.
Yeah, and if you would like to know nearly everything that Hallie does every minute of the day, then, then maybe you should check that out. Hey, thanks so much. It really means a lot that you're on here with me. We're going to play another of your tunes as we head out. It's your cover of Casey Musgrave's "Follow Your Arrow." God, how great is she? She's like Miranda Lambert to me. I love both of those ladies.
Yes, they actually grew up together, and Miranda hit it off way before Casey, but I love Casey because that's another one that she just sticks to her roots.
Wow. All right, it's a great cover. It's Hallie Long. Check her out on Facebook. Check her out on Snapchat. Hallie, thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate it.
No, thank you for having me. This was a blast.
And you stay here, because right after you check out this tune from Hallie Long, we will be telling you how you can win the Galaxy Tab 3.
If you save yourself from marriage, you're a bore. But if you don't save yourself from marriage, you're a horrible person. If you don't have a drink, then you're a prude. But they'll call you a drunk as soon as you down the first one. If you can't lose the weight, then you're just fat. But if you lose too much, then you're on crack. So you're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. So you might as well just do whatever you want. Make lots of noise, kiss lots of boys, or kiss lots of girls if that's something you're into. When the straight and narrow gets a little too straight, roll up a joint, or don't. But follow your arrow wherever it points. Just follow your arrow wherever it points. If you don't go to church, you'll go to hell. If you're the first one on the front row, you're a self-righteous son of a can't win for losing. You'll just disappoint them. Just 'cause you can't beat them don't mean you should join them. Just make lots of noise and kiss lots of boys, or kiss lots of girls if that's something you're into. When the straight and narrow gets a little too straight, roll up a joint, or don't. Just follow your arrow wherever it points. Yeah, follow your arrow wherever it points. Say what you feel and love who you love, 'cause you only get so many trips round the sun. Yeah, you only live once. So make lots of noise and kiss lots of boys, or kiss lots of girls if that's something you're into. When the straight and narrow gets a little too straight, roll up a joint, or don't. Just follow your arrow wherever it points. Just follow your arrow wherever it points. If you don't save yourself from marriage, you're a bore.
There's Hallie Long and her cover of a Casey Musgraves tune, Follow Your Heart. Good stuff. God, it was so awesome for her to be on. If you get her out singing locally, if you follow her on Facebook, when she has a show, she'll let you know. Go out and support her. She's really talented. As you can see, she's down to earth. She's very real, which is what attracts me to artists. I really look for stuff that's real, and it's one of the reasons I wanted to have her on the show. So, if you have been waiting to figure out how to win the Galaxy Tab 3 we're giving away, if you want complete technical rules, you can head on over to brett-mason.com/rules. Here's how you do it. Like the Facebook post that this podcast is linked in. Now, I had some people liking the post on my website, and that won't do it. And the reason is, it's not that I don't appreciate you doing that, because I do. It's just I can't track those. So, when you, or not the like, but the share. So you got to like the Facebook post. So you have to actually go to the Facebook page, and whatever post announced to this podcast, just click the like button on it. And if you didn't get here through the Facebook page and you don't know what it is, it's facebook.com/BrettMason69, BrettMason69. Now, you get a point for doing that. You also get another point if you share that post on Facebook, and that's where the little bit of issue comes in. If I appreciate you sharing it from the website, so if you listen to the podcast on the website, brettmason.com, there's share buttons there. I appreciate you using those. I really do. The only thing is I can't document that you shared it because it doesn't give me a record. Whereas if you share it on the actual Facebook page, I'll be able to see a list of everybody that shared it, and you'll get a point for that. And then the third way you can get a point is by commenting on that same Facebook post. So you got like, you got share, and then the last thing to do is comment. And with every podcast, I come up with a new set of rules for the comment. And for this one, you need to comment. The comment needs to start with the name of our first president of the United States. Then you need to put your last name, and then you need to put my first name, right? So I don't know what your last name is, but I know the president and I know my first name. So your comment will start out Washington, your last name, Brett. Make sense? That's all there is to it. So if your last name is Shenanigans, it'd be Washington Shenanigans Brett. And then you can put anything you want after that. But you got to put those three things. That way I know that you got the code from the podcast, and that's where you got it from. You get a point for that. And there you go, 3 points. At the end of the contest, the person with the most points is going to be the person that wins the Galaxy Tab 3. I'm excited about it. Thank you for listening to the Brett Mason Show and podcast today. It's just awesome as always. I appreciate you more than you know. Have a fantastic day. We'll talk to you soon.
This is the Brett Mason Show. Hey, hey, hey. My name is Brett. This is my show. This is my show. Hey, hey, hey.